This is the story of Lady and the Tramp. You can read along with me in your book. You will know it is time to turn the page. Hear the chimes ring like this. Let's begin now. One snowy Christmas, Darling received a very special gift from her husband. She unwrapped the brightly wrapped box, and out popped a beautiful little puppy.
Oh, Jim, dear, she's beautiful. I think I'll call her Lady.
Lady had found a very happy home with Darling and Jim Dear. Her afternoons were spent playing in the park with Darling. And later, she would race Jim Dear home from work. One summer day, Jim Dear came home with a surprise for Lady.
Here you are, girl. Your very own collar and license. Why don't you show them off to Jock and Trusty?
Lady trotted proudly next door to see the neighboring dogs.
Notice anything different, Trusty?
Why, Miss Lady,
Drawled the aging bloodhound.
you've got a new collar.
Jock the Scotty added,
Aye, and it looks very expensive.
Later that summer, Lady noticed a change in Jim Dear and Darling. The races home stopped, as did the afternoon walks. Instead, Darling just sat home and knitted. Poor lonely Lady sat outside and wondered why her owners were acting so strangely. The answer came a few weeks later. There was tremendous excitement in the house. Jim Dear happily telephoned his Aunt Sarah.
It's here, and it's a baby, a boy. I'm a daddy.
Lady tiptoed upstairs and peeked carefully into a pretty face.
Lady rushed outside to tell Jock and Trusty about the beautiful baby. As she talked, a stray dog with no collar and license entered the yard. He saw her right up to Lady.
Hello, Kitchen. I couldn't help overhearing your conversation, and I think you're all wrong. Why, babies are just cute little bundles of trouble.
Jock had heard about this intruder. His name was Tramp, and he always managed to escape the dog catcher's jail. Jock didn't like it.
Up and get out! You, bungalow!
When Jim Dear and Darling left for a weekend, Aunt Sarah came to stay with the baby. And much to Lady's dismay, Aunt Sarah had brought along her two Siamese cats. They were troublemakers from the start. One cat headed right for the canary cage, while the other tried to make a meal out of the goldfish. Lady chased after them and spoiled their plans, but not before the cats had made a shambles of the living room. Aunt Sarah came running.
Merciful heavens! Look at this mess!
The two pesky cats pretended to be hurt. Aunt Sarah comforted them.
Did that wicked dog attack you, my innocent little angel? Well, I know how to take care of that ruffian.
Aunt Sarah didn't waste a moment. She grabbed Lady and marched right down to the local pet shop.
Got it! I want a muscle! A good, strong one!
The shop was strapped a heavy muzzle onto Lady's face. It was so tight that she could hardly open her mouth. Lady wiggled out Aunt Sarah's arms and pulled it out of the storage bin. Up one street and down another she went, trying to escape the horrible muzzle. She soon found herself on Park Street, and in a very bad part of town. Three big dog busts on Lady in mid-Vegas, sorry and savage, until they had her trapped and find it out.
As the snarling dogs inched closer to Lady, another dog leaped to her rescue. It was Tramp. Single-handedly, he fought the vicious dogs and sent them yelping away. Then he turned to Lady.
Hey, Pitch! What are you doing on this side of the track? I thought you... Huh? A muzzle? Oh, you poor kid. We've got to get that thing off. Come on.
Tramp led Lady to the city zoo. At a pond, they found a beaver struggling to pull a heavy log into the water.
Pardon me, friend. It looks like you need a log puller. I happen to have a handy-dandy one here, modeled by the little lady. Just nip it off and it's yours.
The beaver quickly nibbled through a strap, and Lady was free of the hated muzzle.
Come on, Pidge. Let's find a place to celebrate.
Tramp seemed to be known and welcome everywhere they went. He had a different place to eat every day of the week.
It's Wednesday, Pidge. That means we go to Tony's restaurant. You'll love it.
Tony had a plate of bones all ready, but when he saw the tramp that brought a lady friend, he served them a delicious dinner of spaghetti meatballs. Then he took out his accordion and sang a beautiful love song while Lady Tramp danced by candlelight. Lady marveled at Tramp's carefree life, so different from her own. After the romantic dinner, Lady and Tramp walked through the park to the top of the hill overlooking the city.
Look down there, Pigeon. There's a great big world out there with no fence around it, where two dogs like us could find adventure and excitement.
Sounds wonderful. Who would watch over Jim, Dolly, and the baby?
You win, kid. I guess we're going.
As he escorted Lady home, Tramp noticed some hens sleeping in the yard.
Hey, let's wake up those fat, lazy biddies.
Sitting on a park bench, we were so different.
That's the signal to get out of here, Pidge.
Remember, you die again and again. I read that on the after told me again. And if the horoscopes are true, I'll see you again when we're both high to share a cigarette. Just with you for a while.
You ran out on me and I took the blame. It was so embarrassing. I never want to see you again. Goodbye.
Desperately called for help.
Hurry! There's a rat!
How you arrange different photographs in
These are what looks like. You can read along with me. You will know it as time goes. Hear the chimes ring like this. Let's begin. The Queen of Hearts.
The Queen of Hearts, she makes some tarts, all on a summer's day. The Knave of Hearts, he stole those tarts, and with them he ran away. The King of Hearts called for those tarts, and beat the Knave full sore. The Knave of Hearts brought back those tarts, and said he'd steal no more.
Little Jack Horner.
Little Jack Horner, not in a corner. In a pie. Put it in some, and took out a glove and said, "Not a good boy am I, little Jack."
Jack's friend would
This cow jumped over the fence. The little dog laughed to see such sport, and the dish ran away with the spoon.
This little
This little pig went to market. This little pig stayed home. This little pig has roast beef. This little pig cried. Oh, boy,
Mary's Jack be nimble.
Jack be nimble. Jack be quick. Jack jump over the candlestick.
Peter, Pumpkinhead.
Leads up.
There were two blackbirds. There were two blackbirds sitting on the hill. The one named Jack, the other named Bill. Fly away, Jack! Fly away, Bill! Come along, Jack! Come again, Bill!
Oh, praise the Lord.
Oh, the King Cole was a merry old soul, and a merry old soul was he. He called for his pipes, and he called for his bowl, and he called for his fiddlers for three. The old woman led the show.
This is the story of Bambi. You can read along with me in your book. You will know it is time to turn the page when you hear the chimes ring like this. Let's begin now. It was spring, and the forest was alive with news. Everyone was excited.
It's happening. Have you heard? Over in the thicket. Come and see.
A magpie flew by Old Owl, who was taking his daily nap.
Wake up, friend owl. The young prince is born. Come on, you'd better hurry.
Now, Owl preferred to spend the day at home, fast asleep. But when he heard the news, he woke right up and flew to the thicket.
After all, it isn't every day a young prince is born.
As the animals quietly approached the shady pen, they saw a newborn baby deer sleeping by his proud mother. She gently nudged the tiny fawn and whispered. The fawn slowly opened his new eyes. Then he got up, his new legs still shaking, and looked around curiously at the creatures who had come to admire him. A friendly baby rabbit named Thumper hopped over to the mother deer.
What are you going to call him?
I think I'll name him Bambi.
Bambi? Yeah, I guess that'll do.
Then Thumper and the other visitors hopped and scampered away, leaving the young prince to nap. By the time summer came, Prince Bambi was strong enough to explore the forest with his mother.
Hold on, Bambi.
She said one morning. The little fawn, his legs steady now, followed his mother out of the glen. The chorus of voices came from above. Bambi looked up to see a possum family hanging by their tail. As possums do. He was puzzled. Who were these upside-down folks? Bambi turned his head this way and that, trying to get a proper look at them. Another voice came from nearby.
Hi, Bambi.
It was Thumper, who was eating clover with his family.
Let's go have some fun.
That seemed like a fine idea. So Bambi trotted off after him. The two friends came upon some birds perched on the low branch. Bambi scanned. Thumper hopped up and down excitedly. Then a butterfly landed on Bambi's tail. He said, feeling very proud of himself. Thumper giggled.
That's not a bird. That's a butterfly.
Bambi shook his head in confusion. Then he saw some more small, colorful things. Bending down, he sniffed at one.
Butterfly.
Thumper smiled.
No, Bambi. That's a flower. It's
Just then, out from the flowers popped a black and white face with two bright eyes.
pretty flower.
Said Bambi. No one had ever called a skunk that before. Thumper rocked with laughter. The bashful little skunk just smiled.
Oh, that's all right. You can
Careful on the meadow, Bambi. Out there we are unprotected. There are no trees to hide us.
When his mother was sure it was safe, she let Bambi bound out onto the grassy meadow. He was surprised to see a little girl fawn about his own age. Her name was Feline, and she and Bambi soon became great friends. One day in early fall, as Bambi and his friends were playing on the meadow, a mighty deer rushed out from the trees. It was the Forest King, and he signaled everyone to leave the meadow. In the distance, Bambi could hear the loud, frightening noise of guns. Bambi and his mother raced for the safety of the thicket. Bambi was frightened. When it became quiet again, he lifted his head.
I don't understand, Mother. Why did they run?
Bambi's mother was still alertly watching the path from the meadow. Then she turned to her son.
Man, in the forest.
One cold morning, Bambi awoke to a startling sight.
What's all this white? Why, it's snow. Winter has come to the forest.
Bambi stepped out of the thicket carefully and was surprised when his feet sank deep into the soft, white snow. The fawn was delighted. The snow became a game. He pranced all about in the chilly air, leaving hoof prints in the snow. From a nearby pond, Thumper called to him.
Hiya, Bambi. Come on over here. It's all right. See? The water's still.
Bambi trotted confidently out onto the frozen pond. But as soon as his tiny hooves touched the ice, his hind legs slipped, and down he crashed. Thumper laughed and laughed.
You have to watch both films at the same time.
Bambi blinked his large eyes, got up carefully, and slid across the ice to Thumper.
Some fun, huh, Bambi?
They had a wonderful time.
The winter months passed slowly. Food became scarce, and Bambi's mother had to strip bark from the trees to eat.
It's sure long.
At last, the snow melted and spring came. Owl awoke from his nap.
faded away till he tottered over to
when you hear the chimes ring like this. Let's begin now. Have you ever wondered if wishes really do come true? Well, they do. And I, Jiminy Cricket, have seen it happen. Here, let me tell you about it. One starry night, my travels took me to a tiny shop owned by Geppetto, the woodcarver. I sneaked under the door and saw old Geppetto working on a puppet that looked like a little boy. Geppetto put on a last dab of paint and said,
"There, little wooden head, you're all finished. Now, I have just the name for you, Pinocchio. Come on, let's try you out."
Geppetto took Pinocchio down off the workbench and danced the little puppet across the wooden floor by pulling the strings. Figaro the cat wasn't sure he liked the newcomer who clomped and clattered around the shop. But Geppetto liked his little Pinocchio very much.
Figaro, wouldn't it be nice if Pinocchio were a real live boy? Oh, well, it's time for bed. Come, Pinocchio, let's put you back on the workbench. Good night, my little funny face.
Just before going to sleep, Geppetto looked out his window into the starry night.
Oh, look, Figaro, the wishing star. Do you know what I wish, Figaro? I wish that my little Pinocchio might become a real boy.
And with that, Geppetto drifted happily off to sleep. A very nice thought, I said, as I settled down to bed in an empty lunchbox. But wishes like that never come true. Moments later, the room filled with light. There stood a beautiful green bird. Playing pool. I knew this place wasn't good, so I tried to talk Pinocchio into leaving. Look at yourself. How do you ever expect to be a real boy?
Oh, gee, Jiminy. A guy only lives once, you know.
All right, stay. Make a fool of yourself. And I left. As I headed for the boat dock, I noticed some sinister men herding frightened little donkeys into crates. The strange part was that the donkeys were wearing boys' clothing. And some were crying, "Mama, Mama!" Then it hit me. These were bad boys who had turned into donkeys. I had to get Pinocchio off Pleasure Island and fast. I dashed back to the pool room, hollering, "Come on, Pinocchio! We've got to get out of here! The boys, they've all turned into donkeys!" But I was too late. Pinocchio had already sprouted donkey's ears and a tail.
Oh, Jiminy, what do I do? Help me.
We've got to get away from here before you get any worse. Follow me, Pinocchio. We ran to the water's edge, dove into the sea, and swam for the mainland. Pinocchio pulled himself from the water, still wearing ears and a tail, but he was glad he had escaped Pleasure Island.
Let's go home, Jiminy.
When we arrived at Geppetto's workshop, the place was locked and Geppetto was gone. Just then, a magic dove flew by and dropped a note. Pinocchio, it's about your father. It says, he went looking for you and was swallowed by a whale named Monstro. We, Pinocchio, thought his father was done for, but I read on. Wait, he's alive. It says, he's living inside the whale at the bottom of the sea. Pinocchio squared his shoulders.
We were no whale. I've got to find my father and rescue him.
But Pinocchio, it's dangerous. This monstro can swallow whole ships.
I've got to go to him, Jiminy. Goodbye.
With that, Pinocchio ran to a high cliff over the ocean. He tied a rock to his tail and jumped into the water. The rock took Pinocchio to the ocean floor, where he began his search for Geppetto. Pinocchio's search wasn't long. Monstro was busy swallowing up tuna fish for a meal, and Pinocchio was swept into Monstro's belly along with the fish. Geppetto was surprised. "Pinocchio, my boy! I'm so happy to see you!"
Me too, Father. I've come to save you.
No, Pinocchio. There's no way a monster only opens his mouth when he's eating. Then everything comes in, nothing goes out.
Suddenly, Pinocchio had a tremendous idea.
Father, you built a big fire, and the smoke will make Monstro sneeze.
Pinocchio and Geppetto started a blaze and then climbed onto a raft the smoke curled upward toward Monstro's nose. The giant whale sniffed and snorted, and finally sneezed a little raft right out of his mouth. Pinocchio and Geppetto had escaped safely, but Monstro was angry at being tricked. He raced toward the tiny raft with a terrifying look in his eyes. Geppetto shouted, "Admiral San, he's trying to crush us!" Monstro dove underwater, then came up fiercely underneath the raft. Pinocchio and Geppetto were thrown into the air as their raft broke into 1,000 pieces. Geppetto floundered helplessly as he watched the furious whale turn about. "Look out, my boy! Here he comes again!"
Hurry, Father!
Urged Pinocchio, but Geppetto was too tired to swim anymore.
I can't make it, son. Save yourself.
No, Father, I won't leave you.
Pinocchio grabbed Geppetto's shirt and swam bravely for shore. Just as Monstro dove at them, Pinocchio pulled Geppetto to safety behind some rocks. Geppetto woke to find himself on shore out of danger. But poor Pinocchio was lying deathly still in the pounding surf. Geppetto cheerfully carried Pinocchio back to his workshop and laid the motionless puppet on the bed. Suddenly, we heard the Blue Fairy's voice.
Pinocchio, you have proved yourself brave, truthful, and unselfish. Awake.
Pinocchio sat up to find himself changed into a real boy. Bursting with joy, he and Geppetto danced about the workshop. And so, you see, wishes really do come true. And you will come trouble and you don't know right from wrong, give a little whistle, give a little whistle. When you meet temptation and the urge is very strong, give a little whistle, give a little whistle. Not just a little squeak, pucker up and blow. And if your whistle's weak, yell, Jimmy Cricket. Take the straight and narrow path, and if you start to slide, give a little whistle, give a little whistle. And always let your conscience be your guide.
were Viper Pig, Fiddler Pig, and Practical Pig. Viper Pig did not like to work at all, so he built himself a quick and easy Viper Pig and Fiddler Pig laughed and went back inside. They were sure they were safe now, so they danced and sang. Then right in the middle of all their fun, there was a knock at the door.
Who's there?
Nervously, the two little pigs peeked through a crack in the door. Outside, there was something in a big basket. It was the big bad wolf again. He had covered himself with a sheepskin and was curled up in the basket, pretending to be a little lost lamb.
I'm aboard. With no place to sleep. Please open the door and let me in.
The two little pigs could see the wolf's big black paws and sharp fangs.
Not by the hair of your kitty tit tit. You can't fool us in your old sheepskin.
This made the big bad wolf very angry. The two little pigs watched him throw off the sheepskin and kick the basket aside. The big bad wolf came to the front door and growled.
And I'll hop. I'll fall. I'll blow your house in.
He took a deep breath and blew the little stick house all to pieces. The two little pigs raced straight to Practical Pig's house of bricks.
Stop! Stop, you little thing! I'll get you anyway!
But the two little pigs dashed into the house and slammed the door.
Curses! They're both safe in their brother's house of bricks.
Practical Pig scolded his brother.
See, I told you what would happen when that big wolf came around. Only Rick knows our wolf food, and now at last the bacon time.
Open the door and let me in.
The wolf took a deep breath and blew as hard as he could. He blew till he was blue in the face. But the brick house was as strong and as safe as ever.
Tell if I can't blow the house in. I'll go up on the roof and come down the chimney. And I'll catch that three little pigs.
The Practical Pig heard the wolf on the roof.
Hey, what a fire! Fireplace!
The big bad wolf didn't know that he was right above a kettle of boiling water. The wolf sprang straight up the chimney, toppled off the roof, and scrambled away into the woods. Shouted the three little pigs. They were so happy they danced and sang.